Hey, have you seen the Cory monthly painting journey of July? Because I haven't. Yeah, I failed miserably, I just skipped a month. But hey, if I can justify myself, it was due to a logistic reason, which was I didn't have a fucking painting table. But for August, it's completely different because I finally restarted to paint. And you may see some miniatures here and also something different, which is not a miniatures, but it's something way bigger. Because I don't only build and paint miniatures, but I also build robots. And I wanted to introduce you to my other hobby, building miniature whatever kind modeling hobby, which are gunplas. And I wanted to introduce you to this little hobby, which is also something that I do here. I don't paint them because they are pre-colored. Well, technically they are not pre-painted. The plastic that are used to build these little model kits are colored plastic pieces, so you don't have to paint them. You absolutely can, you could paint them, but to me, they are perfect as they are. Maybe I do some panel lining here and there, but generally speaking, I just leave them as they are after I build them. Which are gunplas. Forgot to tell the name. Gunplas. Why I'm telling you this? Well, I'm actually planning on doing a video on gunplas, because gunplas were the reason why I restarted painting miniatures. And I will do a video on that in the future. But for now, let me show you what I did. This is a model kit that comes from the Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which is the Neo-Japan mobile fighter. It is piloted by, and I hope that I pronounced the name correctly, Domon Kashu. Domon Kashu. Domon Kashu. Did I pronounce it correctly? Anyway, piloted by Domon Kashu, which is the main protagonist of the series. There are many other protagonists, but he is the main one, and this is the mobile fighter that he pilots. This kit is a HG, or high grade, which stands as a 1 to 144 scale in measure, which is the smallest scale, I think, of gunplas that you can find out there, but it is also the one with less details. Which doesn't mean that it sucks, it's just that there are a little less details that normally you can find in other, maybe greater scales, like master grade. I love these little kits because they are very easy and quick to build. It doesn't require like a lot of materials. You don't have to use glue to build them. They are just snap fit. And you just need a pair of pliers, a file to file down the little plastic pieces, maybe some mold lines. They allow you to just build a little action figure without a lot of effort. And I especially think that they are great for beginners that want to get into this hobby, because you don't actually have to paint them if you want. You just have to build them, apply some stickers and some decals if you're brave enough, and then you're done. You have your little model kit built and ready to be displayed. And now the actual miniatures, which are the rest of the heroic fighters of the known world. An old set in which I did an unboxing here on my channel, and I painted only 2 before this month, which were Sir Brute, which is a miniature that I had used for my Pride Month special, and the other one was the Moon Duke, which I had used to demonstrate how the Dark Star Molten Metal series paints actually work. And then I had the rest of the kit just there inside the box, and I decided that it was like the best way to restart painting, because I love knights, I love Bretonians. Now I cannot use all of them as Bretonians, they don't fit quite well. For example, Gladius, it doesn't fit, or because Gladius is technically speaking like a Spartan warrior with a very fantasy vibe, but it is just a Spartan warrior, and it wouldn't fit very well inside a Bretonian army. And the other 3, which have some of the greatest names that I've ever seen on some miniature. For example, Vlad the Crackhead, great miniature with his morning star. Then there is Ulrich Ulrichson, which is the most Bretonian of the 3, just because he had these giant wings on his head that I've painted gold. It can be a Bretonian if you just use a little bit of imagination, I think. And the other one is Harald the Hammer, a Nordic raider, a barbarian raider. It doesn't again fit very well into a Bretonnian army. But again, those are great miniatures that have a great fantasy vibes. So if you want to use them, for example, in Dungeons and Dragons, they would be perfect. The other two, which are the most Bretonnian besides Sir Brute and the Moon Duke, are Lord Aquila, which I have painted almost exactly like the box. Not exactly, I prefer to give my own personal touch, but it is still with an entire armor made out of gold, which makes him stand out quite a lot on the battlefield. And the other is Manfred, which is a fusion between Bretonnia and the old empire in Warhammer Fantasy, with this giant Zweihande, which it's the name of just huge double-handed broadsword. I have interpreted the color scheme a little bit more my way. The plume on the head, the plume or whatever the decoration that you have on top of the helmet is just blue and violet, and the two shoulder pads are red, and the two white cross are just white decals. Sometimes I freehand, sometimes I don't, but most often than not I just use decals, like in this case. And now I can finally have the entire set of the heroic fighters of the known world complete, ready to be displayed, ready to be used in some games. I've used 32mm bases for these models, and also you may notice that the shields are not actually the shield that came in the box, because I think the previous owner just lost all of the shields. So I used some shields bits that I had around here scattered in my pile of shame, and I used them for them, which give them a little bit more of a personal touch, something that fit better with the models, since the shields are all different, because the old kit just had rounded wooden shields that are not bad, but for some models they didn't quite fit. They didn't fit quite well, in my opinion, and this is the final result anyway. So this were the miniatures and the Gundam that I've painted and built for the month of August. I missed so much painting miniatures, and after a while finally starting again was a blast. It was amazing. You don't realize how much something is valuable to you when you don't have the things anymore. And boy, miniature painting is such an important thing for me. I was starting to feel stressed because I wanted to paint, but I couldn't because I didn't have a painting table. But now I finally restarted. Anyway, my friends, this was my little Cory monthly painting journey. Let me know down in the comment what you think about the miniatures that I've painted, especially the Gunpla. I want to know your opinion if you already know about Gunplas, and let me know also if you would like to see videos about Gunplas, because in my opinion they are great and are again a great gateway for those that want to start miniature painting but don't know where actually to start. But anyway, I will do a video about it. Let me know what you think about it. So, thank you very much. I'm Cory. Leave a like if you want, subscribe if you want. Down in the description you will find the links like Instagram and Coffee. And I hope to see you very soon. Ciao, ciao, my friends. Ciao, ciao.